Okay, we are going to do some understitching now. So the first thing you're going to do is sew that seam, your medium length stitch right in the middle. On our machines at school, it's a number 3. You're going to backstitch at the start and the finish, and the seam allowance is going to be 5/8 of an inch. The next step you're going to do, which I have done, is you're going to take this to an iron and you're going to press the seam to the left, okay? And now we're going to take that and we're going to put a second stitch in 1/8 of an inch away from this seam, making sure that we're catching our seam allowance. In other words, that it is still pressed to the left. So that stitch is going to go through 3 layers of fabric, our square here on the left, and these 2 seam allowance pieces. This one is not going to get any stitches. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to find some sort of guide for yourself. In this instance with this presser foot, I know that if I line this seam up, I can even take it off here for you. If I line the seam up with the center, then the needle is going to be right in the center. It's going to fall right in the center. This space here, this space here from about the center of the presser foot to here is roughly 1/8 of an inch. So I can actually use the presser foot, let me get it right under the camera, and I can run my seam right along the inside, okay, right here, kind of eyeball it, and it's going to put my stitch about 1/8 of an inch over. So let me show you what that looks like. Basically, I'm not using the plate as a guide, I'm using the presser foot as a guide. So again, I'm putting, if you can see that, this seam is going to follow right in here. Okay, I'm going to backstitch. Whoa, I don't know what's going on with my light there. Oh, that's great. Technical difficulties. Okay. This is, let me just trim these threads away. This is the understitching. Okay, so this stitch is used to keep this seam allowance on this side. Okay, now oftentimes this is used maybe like on a collar or on a waistband to give us this really nice finish without that seam rolling forward. Okay, so that's kind of where the understitch is used. And that is your sample. Okay, so I would go back to the iron, and I'm just going to press this back right along the seam, and that is my understitching sample.